Okay guys, so I'm now overdue for the 5 months full-time video, and I'm pretty much 6 months in the van because I did stay in it for about a month before I moved out of the house completely. But 5 months full-time with no residence that I could park the van at. You can see I'm in quite a peaceful place at the moment. I'll quickly show you that. So at the moment I'm on this little mini jetty thing that's out on the water. So you can see there's a creek. Then over there's a footbridge, and you can see the van where I parked. And so this is Adam Gould Park, and there's a little bench seat there. So I'll probably go for a walk after this and just see what else is around here. But you got barbecues and bins and stuff over there. But anyway, so the 5 months full time, everything's gone pretty smoothly. Just after the 4-month mark full time, I did get my first knock on the door with the police. And that's only because they had a report of noises in the bush, in the scrub, near where I was parked, and they just had a chat to me. They had no problems at all. They said that I was quite welcome to stay in the area. They did say, hey, if you could park further up away from the residences, because I did park near some residences because there were people there when I first arrived, and that was my intention anyway, to move up further anyway, when everyone else had gone. And so they had no issues, and I've been staying in that area quite a bit since then. I did also have, see that, Logan Park Ranger. I'm not going to show the contact details for it, but let's put that back. Put that in my top pocket. But I did have a ranger speak to me, and it wasn't because of where I was sleeping. It was during the day that they spoke to me. But it was because of, essentially, I was staying in this car park during the day, like an empty car park, and apparently they had some people just ring them and say, hey, look, there's a guy in a van that's frequenting this empty car park during the day, because you get people that live in the area, walk their dogs and whatever else, and there were other areas of the park, like it's a big park complex. And so they came and spoke to me, and like they basically said, oh, you're living in the van. I said yes, and all that sort of stuff. And then they said, well, because you're technically homeless, we could try and organise your housing, and you'd be like priority and all that sort of stuff. And I wasn't interested in that, but I thanked them. And from my point of view, the van is my home, and there's people on the streets, or people with disabilities, or single parents or whatever that have a more genuine need than me, at least in my opinion, for government housing assistance. But they left me their card, and they said, if they get any other reports of me in the area, they know who I am. They took my ID and stuff, but they were really nice. They were just there from the point of view that, hey, we can offer assistance if you need it. And they did suggest, hey, if you move around the day spots, they said, yeah, we know it costs a bit in fuel, but if you can change up your day spots a bit, then people would be less likely to ring in and report it, I guess. But they had no issues with me in the area. I've seen them again since. But yeah, so it looks like for the day spots at least, moving around more frequently just draws less attention to yourself, and people are less likely to say, hey, this guy is here all the time. And then they went mainly just to offer assistance more than anything else, or that's the impression they gave me. And they said, look, they had no issues of me staying in the area. They even gave me some suggestions of other places nearby that I could go to as well. So they were actually very helpful. I liked the Logan City Council Park Rangers, at least the ones that I spoke to. So what else? I've done another cooking video in the van. I did cook that at night in the van, and I was at my night spot, so I didn't want to open up the doors and stuff, but cooking inside the van with the doors closed gets really, really hot. So it's probably better to cook, during the day. with the van doors open or on a park bench or something. So yeah, that was last night actually that I did the cooking video. But everything is going really well as far as the van life is concerned. I've got no complaints. I still haven't gotten rid of my storage locker. I've been a bit lazy with that, but that's definitely something that I'll have to do, is get rid of that storage locker. I haven't really been travelling all that much because I've been trying to finish off a coursework, and my work situation's changed just in the last 2 weeks. And with the site that I was working at, the role, I guess for me at least, was no longer available. And so the company that I'm working with, the security company, did give me other work, but some of it was a 6 o'clock in the morning finish and a 10 o'clock in the morning finish, like overnight working shifts. And I basically went to them and said, hey, look, I can't do that because I'm living in the van, and I don't know, I won't know until next week probably whether they're willing to accept that. I said, look, I can work 7 days a week until about 2 in the morning. So I am working tonight. I finish at 2:15 in the morning. But I don't know whether they're willing. They said, well, when people join the company, you sign a thing saying, security's 24/7 and you need 24/7 availability, and I don't have that. So I don't know whether the company's going to be willing to work with me to give me shifts that I can actually do. So I'll find that out next week, probably, hopefully. But yeah, so at the moment, my working situation, I'm not sure what's happening there. But that is another good thing about being in the van, I guess, because if I was living in a house and you had all those commitments, it'd be a lot more expensive. But I still do have expenses like the storage locker and obviously internet and gym, and I finance the car on a loan, so I do have fortnightly payments that I organised for the van. But it is less than if I was living in a house. But I'll probably have to work out a budget at some point. That's why I was cooking last night as well in the van, because to save money by not doing the takeaway all the time. But yeah, that's just me sharing a little bit about myself. I normally don't talk about myself that much, but still enjoying van life, and I just got to sort out my work situation. Hopefully everything will fall into place next week with that, without me having to go to a different company. But if I do, I've got lots and lots of holiday pay to keep me going until so I'm not going to be desperate to try and find out where my expenses are coming from, like where the money to pay my expenses is coming from. So I'll have a lot of time to try and find new work if that is the case. So I'm not overly worried, but obviously, ideally, the company I'm already with will say, yeah, okay, we'll work with you to give you shifts that you can actually do. But I won't know that until next week. If you are thinking about doing van life, I'd say just do it. You've got very little to lose. The worst that's likely to happen is that you will say, hey, this isn't for me, and you'll move back into a house of some sort. And you can do what I did, put your stuff in a storage locker for a few months just to see whether it works out. So yeah, I hopefully you enjoyed the update, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.